How are you, Duncan?
How are things?
Well, on yourself.
Here, not so bad now.
Up all night.
Yeah, it's a soft well.
Oh, is there some fucking weather warning again for tonight, is there?
I didn't check it actually. There probably is.
I saw something popping up on the screen earlier on. I'll have a look and see his mark in. I think he's in there now.
Oh, super.
There we go.
There we go.
Mark, how are you?
How he is?
How things back?
Too bad.
Very good. Can you hear me all right?
You're perfect, yeah. Can you hear us all right? You can?
Yeah. Just turn up the volume a small bit. What's the crack? How are you?
Not bad, not bad. We're just saying it's a dirty old night out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lashing. Yeah, lashing rain. Horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah. I was on the water in Cork for the weekend there, from Crosshaven, and we were really lucky. It rained Friday night, it rained Saturday night, it rained Sunday night, but during the day it was perfect, beautiful.
Super.
I couldn't have asked for better, like, to be honest.
Super.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, nothing worse than being out in the water and it's lashing rain.
Oh, stop. Yeah, especially when you're trying to train people and help people along.
Yeah. I know, it's big time.
Yeah.
I've been kind of lucky this year, though. Kind of was thinking about it there, that this year there's very few times that I had to postpone anything or cancel any weekends because of the weather.
Do you know,
The weather was super. Like,
it was a good summer. It was the best summer in the
Very
last
good
3 or 4 years, I think.
yeah, it was one of our better summers, and it's very easy to forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
As
absolutely.
soon as the clocks change.
Yeah, what we're seeing is that we're seeing more hours on the boats, which is great. Do you know?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
last couple of years there, they weren't getting the great use out of them. A lot of people, like, and then if people are working during the week and only using them on the weekends, it was kind of a fine week, and then wet for the weekend or windy for the weekend. You know?
Yeah. And you know the nature of that, like people who don't live in the area where their boats are, and they only have the weekend to use them.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I'm kind of scared to see what hours I put up on my engine this year.
We'll find out.
Yeah. There was a fair few hours. There was a lot of petrol going into it. That's for sure.
That's the job. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. Keep all the receipts. That's the secret.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, we lost Duncan.
Oh yeah, he's gone. He's done a runner.
Well, he's legged it.
He's legged it. Yeah.
I wouldn't blame him.
So,
He's coming back. now.
I was messing around with TikTok Live today now with cameras and software and stuff like that. The TikTok Studio.
Yeah.
But, I just couldn't get my head around it at all today. I was just perplexed.
Yeah.
So,
There's a lot in it. Like, there's a lot
of stuff going on in that studio, isn't there? There's a lot of things in that.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with it. But it's good old crack. I enjoy the TikTok, to be honest. I enjoy it.
Yeah. No, it's same here. No, I enjoy making those videos.
Yeah.
You just have to remind yourself when I'm working, like, to actually keep taking the camera out and take a few snaps, take a few videos, and then bundle them all together, you know. I just forget.
That's it. We're the same. We're getting a little bit better, but there's a pile of jobs go through the workshop. We think after, that would have made a good one.
Yeah, totally. Like, you're trying to take things for granted. You go, fucking hell, somebody else would find this really interesting. And yet it's almost mundane to you because it's just work.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other people out there who've no experience with any of this stuff that we do, you know.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And I suppose that's the aim of these lives, that we're just trying to, poke out fellas just like yourself there, that they don't know what your daily routine is or what you're offering, or
sure,
you're available for a multitude of things. You're not just the Powerball courses. There's a lot more involved in it, and
a lot more. There's definitely a lot more of what I do. Yeah.
So
I teach first aid as well. First aid is one of my big project things in the winter time. So I go around to a lot of centres and schools and teach a one-day first aid course, and it's kind of designed for water-based use. Find that a lot of first aid courses, they kind of focus on, very general, very generic kind of training, kind of for the workplace and things like that. But there's very few that specialize in things like hyperthermia or even seasickness, So I kind of put a bit of focus in that for people, and help them with their day to day as well, in first aid terms.
Yeah, and
Uh,
is that the equivalent now to the would say the one I do for the
yeah,
kids with
very
the
similar, but it's only one day. It's only
yeah,
one day.
it's the aboard the ship. It's kind of called it.
Yeah, it pulls away an awful lot of the technical stuff and the jargon that you would learn in your one,
Yeah,
and try and just make it practical for people. So I split a course like that up into two. It's like I deliver all of the important stuff for half the day, and then the second half of the day I turn it into kind of like a game, like games, like scenarios. So it's like, right, you're Duncan, you're taking care of Brendan. You have to go out to the hall there and see what's wrong with him, and it could be anything. But I would have discussed it all beforehand. Could have been a person in the water. You could have had an electric shock. You could have tripped on a trailer. You could have whacked your head off a door. That kind of stuff. Stuff that happens
yeah,
for real. You know what I mean? Instead of making up crazy things about bus crashes and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Some of the courses I've been on, I kind of like, lads, nobody's learning anything here. You know.
I don't know if you're like me, Mark. I think kids in school, especially in secondary school, like the TY you're there.
Yeah.
There's no kid should be coming out of TY without a first aid course under that.
Without a driving license.
Yeah, that's true too. That is
Honest to God, in America, when you're in that equivalent of age group, you learn to drive a car in school, and you leave that year of school with a license. And I think all the kids in TY should be doing the same thing.
100%. I think that's a year where that stuff should come in. Like first aid is like it's not just about boats or workplaces or stuff happens in the playground that happens down the street.
Totally.
Like Duncan, you had an experience, hadn't you, on the side of the road in Tannagilty?
Yeah, just completely unexpected. Just a cardiac arrest on the side of the road, like, and it's I wasn't training for, I'd say, a year previous to that, but you'd be surprised. I did 2 years in the Red Cross, and just a small bit of training kicked in, like,
it's amazing.
And it was a massive help, like, but again, it's unexpected. It's unexpected when you'll need it,
Yeah. Jesus, 100%. That's fair play to you. And it's one of those things that it's day to day, can happen on the street, and in the supermarket, on the road,
Absolutely, absolutely.
I find with sailing now, like the common injuries now with like dinghy sailing and stuff is like a bang to the head from a boom of a sailboat. And it's just how to deal with those things. And, understanding what concussion is and stuff like that, and how to treat it. Because I teach a lot of teenagers, so it's their kind of first time ever that they have that world experience where they might get involved with an accident. And there's a great saying actually. It's not about the things that happen; it's how you react to those things. These things are going to happen, like no matter what.
Yeah,
they really are. But it's how you deal with them in that moment. That's your test,
Yeah, 100%.
And I was thinking about things earlier on. Actually, you were like, "Oh, ask a few questions. Ask Mark a few questions." I was talking to somebody about life jackets there recently, about inflatables, and I do a lot of checks for people. I go on a lot of other people's boats, so they have their own gear. And the morning of any session, I'm always like, "Oh, show us your PFDs there," and they pull out their horseshoes. And last summer, this woman, she's like, "Oh yeah, it's here. It was a red one. Don't even know the brand. It could have been Baltic. It could have been, I can't remember." So I opened it up, and I was like, "Oh, so who takes care of these for you?" He's like, "Oh, my husband." And there was no bottle in it.
Wow.
There was no bottle in the thing. And then following that, about a month later, checked another one, and the bottle I found, and I still have it. That's the bottle there. I don't know if you can see it. That's what a normal bottle is supposed to look like. And that's a rusty, old, crusty bottle. And luckily, that actually still worked, believe it or not. but it had burned. The rust had actually burned into the bladder
Okay.
so badly that actually it leaked. So like that was condemned. That was in the bin.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show how important it is to make sure that anyone who's watching this, or they put their stuff away for the winter, throw your stuff into the service provider and let them check it out.
Yeah.
And there's loads of them around the country that do it. I'd rather give it to somebody who actually has a license to do it, as opposed to a fella that knows how to do it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I actually have a license from Crusader
For servicing
devices, in particular, like the Irish Coast Guard ones, because we rolled out a load of new PFDs for them in 2018, I think it was. So Crusader trained us in the mechanics of them, and they gave us a ticket basically to be able to check them. I don't know. Do you know the big, huge red ones? The big SAR ones, yeah. Those ones, yeah. They're buoyancy aid and a life jacket at the same time, But yeah, if there's anyone listening, get your life jacket checked.
Yeah.
Buoyancy aids are grand. You don't need to do anything with them.
Don't stick it under the seat in the boat.
No, never. Never.
Yeah. That's where we find them in November and December and January, soaking wet in some corner of the boat,
Ugh.
Yeah.
Mank.
Yeah.
And it's funny, keeping on the subject about life jackets and stuff, our legislation, it came into play around, I think it was around 2005. A lot of stuff happened around 2005 for us in Ireland, that it became mandatory for people under 7 meters to wear a PFD. And it's not the same in the UK. Like, you don't have to wear one in the UK. It's mad. Like, unless it's regulated, unless it's commercialized, like a sea safari or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you can just go hop on your boat. No need for life jacket and razz around the place. It's mad. Especially the speed of some of the boats that are out there now. Like,
Yeah. The power pushing some of them along is nuts now. Like,
I know, crazy.
Yeah.
Anything over 7 meters, though, it's a funny little rule. Like, if you're in an 8-meter rib that has a 250 or twin 100s or twin 150s, you don't technically actually have to wear a PFD according to the rules.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit flawed, because that rule did come around before in Ireland we had any proper ribs with big engines on them,
Yeah.
So I think it has to be reviewed or even looked at a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too, to be honest. Yeah.
The government are very hard to respond to anything, though. They're very knee jerky. It's only if something happens they'll react.
And especially in the marine sector, it's not
completely.
They don't
want to regulate the marine sector at all, especially the private sector.
Yeah.
The only people that really are driving any kind of training kind of model are the insurance companies. So if you are signed, if you buy a boat and you want to insure it, most of the insurance companies are going to ask you now, where do you have a certificate in training? And if you say no, they're like, right, go and get some training, and then we'll insure your boat. Which I think is brilliant, but that's commercial driven. That's not driven by the state.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I suppose, just for anyone, there's a few in there now. I suppose for anyone who doesn't know, this is Mark McCarthy, who has Irish Marine training down in Schull, and runs lots of courses. And we're going to go through a lot of what he does there now in the next 45 minutes of that way to see how it goes. And comment away if you've got questions or stuff like that, lads. Fire them in. We noticed in the last few lives that when we're chatting, we don't look at the comments. They pass us by. We don't see them. So Duncan is keeping an eye on that tonight. He's watching that.
Is he?
And he'll highlight them there later on when we get to that stage of it. So comment away like mad. Give Duncan.
See one down there. It says a lot of people don't know what to buy or the weight related to the person wearing them. And I'm guessing they're talking about PFDs. A lot of the time it's to do with your own physical buoyancy, so your body weight, right? And for some reason, they haven't made it easy for us. They give us the unit of measurement for buoyancy is newtons, right? So a 50 Newton buoyancy aid, even if I had one here, it'd be handy. That gives you an extra 5 kilos of buoyancy in the water. And in physics terms, back to school time, if you're in the water, you only weigh 25% of your normal land body weight when you're in the water. So if you add buoyancy aid to that, you increase your buoyancy. So a 100-kilo man falls into the sea, he now only weighs 25 kilos when he's in the water, right? So it's quite easy to tread water at 25 kilos. If you add a buoyancy aid, you're increasing that again. Yeah. So a lot of the inflatable ones start off at about 120 newtons. You can go up to 340 newtons. But a normal size adult, adequate buoyancy is about 80 newtons. You know, a young adult, probably a 50 newton buoyancy aid. A buoyancy aid's there for swimming. You're expecting to go into the water. You can swim. It's not a life jacket though. It won't save your life. So if I'm sailing a dinghy, I wear a buoyancy aid. I'm not going to wear an inflatable, and I'm not going to wear a really big, cumbersome thing. I'll wear something that's easy. I can swim forwards, backwards, sideways. Whereas if I'm out at night time and I'm in a rib or I'm sailing on a yacht, I'll wear an inflatable, because if I get injured, that'll keep my head out of the water. So basically, it's like your airways open when you're in the water. So costs then, like, you can spend whatever you like on them. Like, I think there's one on the market there I saw recently. It's nearly 600 quid. I'm a sucker for seeking out the expensive stuff, but a buoyancy aid will cost you 60 quid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't skimp on. I wouldn't go to a cheap Chinese shop though to buy something like that. I look for the CE mark. You know, CE marks on the back of any product. It's generally going to be a safe product then.
Like what I'd be saying to people in the life jacket department is head in somewhere. So try them on, because there's a big range of them. Find one that's comfy, because if you plan on being in the water for a while, find one that you look like wearing.
100%. Yeah. And I know there's a fella that I know quite well. He wears one of those body warmers, the body warmer life jacket type style. Yeah. I'm dying to see him in the water with that on. I'm not going to say who it is or anything, but I wouldn't be a fan of them. That's me being diplomatic now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel safe wearing one of those, to be honest. If I fell in, I always like to test my own gear as well. I'd jump into the water and see how they work.
Yeah.
Because there's a few fellas out there now. You'd see them with the life jacket on them, and it's not connected properly. It's not strapped up. You know, it's unzipped. They're not wearing the under straps or the crutch strap that goes under the leg. Crew Saver, without selling anything, unsponsored and all that, Crew Saver make the best gear.
All right.
When it comes to, you know, life jackets and stuff. I've always kind of gone that way with them. Gull as well for buoyancy aids. They make nice ones. There's millions of brands though, to be honest. There's loads of them. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Who's that there? Duncan's backup. How are things, Mark?
That's not me. That's
somebody else. It's an imposter.
Yeah, must be.
Are there any questions up there, Duncan?
I didn't spot anything really. Just the weight relating to the newtons.
Oh, yeah, that's dangerous. Are the blow-up buoyancy aids the best? There's no such thing as a blow-up buoyancy aid. You're talking about two different things. Buoyancy aid is inherent buoyancy, so it's the foam that's always there, and a blow-up is an inflatable, so that's a PFD, like a life jacket. I'm wearing at the moment. I'm wearing a Crew Saver 180. I'll show it to you. That's it there. It's hard to see it, but you know the style.
Yeah, nice, neat one.
He has a handy spot for a knife. I keep a knife in there as well. My next favorite piece of kit, carrying a knife with me at all times. It's like you said, it's a matter of preference. Like, you go in and you try them on, like, or ask other people who have them. Do you know what's your one like? Can I try your one on? You know, I know Spinlock is another company. They make nice ones. But if you're going to be wearing something all day, you might as well spend the money on it.
Yeah, and get something good. Yeah, 100%.
Buy something decent. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
So, Mark,
Where's the place to buy a Crusader in Connacht or Galway with aftercare on the air cell? Oh, there's a lad in Galway City actually. Read that with me now. I'll find out his name. There's a shop there, right down in the port.
fair enough. Very
Not
good.
the way there.
So what I was going to ask you, Mark, is how did it start? Irish Marine training. How did it? What gave you the notion, or how did it come?
I've been training people for years and years and years. You know, as a kid, I was a sailing instructor. I sailed across the Atlantic several times as a young fella with not a care in the world, nothing to worry about. I went to New Zealand. I went to Australia. I did work at some of the America's Cup over there in New Zealand. When I came back to Ireland, I got a job working for the Cork Education Training Board in Schull. We were building up the sailing centre in Schull and the sailing program. And I started the powerboat program there with another lad, Kevin Murray. And basically he had it for a year. He handed the keys over to me. And then it was more of a side hustle at the time because I had a job, like I had a full-time job. And next thing you know, I'm there for nearly 12 years. And then I got kind of headhunted by the Department of Transport, by the Irish Coast Guard, to become a trainer for the search and rescue volunteers around the country. So I did that for a good few years. And then COVID came along and fucked it up for everyone.
Yeah.
So I just basically, I started off an online yacht master course here from the house. And I was just training people all the time in the technical stuff on yacht master training. It's quite a lot. It's very heavy. You know, it's very heavy navigation stuff. And then I just decided, you know, the other lads that were instructing with me in the Coast Guard, we all just decided to start up our own businesses in different parts of the country. So this was right for me down here because I've already been doing it, you know. And there's very few full-time instructors in this game in Ireland. Most people have another job, you know, they do something else. But I seem to be one of the only ones who's actually full-time instructor, who makes a living out of it and a career since COVID came. So I kind of have to pinch myself sometimes, so, you know, kind of remind myself that. Does anyone else ever suffer from imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
I do. I'm never really sure. I think somebody in the background is going to catch up with me sometime.
Yeah.
And put the cuffs on me.
You've been getting away with it too long. Yeah.
Now I seem to be one of the senior members. So.
Yeah. That doesn't take long either, does it? You start looking at yourself going, oh, a bit senior now, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did. I entered a category. I used to do a bit of surfing a few years ago, and I went to Clare, and we were in Kilkee. Now I had to enter this competition. You write down your details, and I got put into the veterans category, and that was a real hitter for me that day. That was like, okay, well, there's no coming back from that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll hurt, all right, a little bit, I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, we're talking about the powerboat courses there, and we also spoke about the first aid. But I noticed, like, I've seen people to you there that might have just bought a boat and they just need a little bit of help to get going.
Yeah.
And in fairness, like, the feedback is fantastic from anyone we've sent to you. So, like, they don't have to sign up to a fully fledged course straight away, do they?
No, not at all. No, like, to be honest, like, everybody's at a different sort of level, aren't they? A different sort of progressive part of their boating career. So I usually have a chat with someone and ask them what they want to focus on first, really. Because people might already have great boat skills. They're great with putting the boat on and off the trailer. They know how to anchor properly, that sort of stuff. But they might need a couple of hours using their Garmin, you know, or even what to do in case of an emergency when they're with their family. or little things like that. So I kind of try to make my training a bit more bespoke for each person. I mean, obviously the courses are structured, right? So that's coming from a very broad. You have 2 days to cover a massive amount of stuff, really, really wide, really broad sweeping, and sometimes it's a pity you don't really have time to go back over the same thing you've just taught because you've got so much ahead of you. But when it comes to people asking me, oh, we just bought a boat there last year. Is there any chance we can go for a spin, or can you show us the area? And I'm like, yeah, 100%, and we go for a day, and it's usually a brilliant day out in the water. Because where we are here, it's like, and you can see the chart behind me. That's one of the best charts in the whole world. You can go to a new place every day all year and never go to the same place twice. Amazing.
Yeah.
And conditions are like you can go from southwesterlies, easterlies, northerlies, and you'll always find somewhere to land, or another town to pop in and get a sandwich, whatever it might be. It's Cork Harbour doesn't even have that.
Yeah.
And that's surrounded by people and thousands, millions of boats. But yeah, West Cork, Roaring Water Bay, from the Mizzen to Baltimore is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's brilliant down there. The shelter that's offered to it, and the safety as well, and the numbers of people that can be out in the water, so you're never far from a passerby.
Like I always say that if you do break down and you have the chance, put your anchor down. If you've lost communications or whatever, just wait a couple of minutes. Somebody's going to go past.
Yeah.
They really are. There's people razzing around the place everywhere.
Yeah, it's unreal.
And everybody's going to give you a lift. Like, nobody's going to ignore you. No. Everybody has that community thing about them. I was asking about the thing. Galway Maritime, I think, is the spot to maybe check. What's that? Has Mark ever heard of Donegal McCobb? He's in a similar business and used to be in the Coast Guard. Yes, average human. I know Dunny very well. Myself and Dunny are old buddies, man. Yes, that's cool. If you see him before I do, say hello. Dunny is sound, yeah, dead on.
There's not many in that business you wouldn't know, I'd say, to be fair.
No, that's true. It is a very small community of instructors, that's for sure. Even if I say I'm doing an advanced powerboat course, for instance, which is like the nighttime one, nighttime nav, competency at night. And I asked them who their instructor was to get to this point, and I nearly 100% know who that instructor was. So that's it's a good place to be in that. Yeah. What's the best navigation gear to buy? That's a very loaded question there, is it?
Jeez, it is all right, isn't it?
Navigation gear. Do you mean electronics for your boat, or do you mean electronics in your pocket? Do you mean paper? I have a multitude of things. There is no one thing. I will use paper charts. I will use let's see, what have I got on my boat at the moment? I'm using Navionics on a tablet, which is really handy. And I have a rain system as well. Only because it came with the boat. I'm a big fan of Garmin. The Garmin device.
Same as that, to be honest, I find them easier to use than most things.
Not the touchscreen ones, though. I'm not a big fan of the touchscreen stuff on a boat.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mess when you're driving around and you're trying to feck around and hit the wrong thing, There's a big difference. There's a lot to learn when it comes to the electronics. Now, if you come from a traditional background like me, when you're used to learning from paper, the difference between what we call a raster chart, which is the paper charts, and the ENC chart, which is your electronic navigation chart. Back in the old days, you had to learn everything. Like, you had to remember what every single symbol meant on a chart. Whereas now, you have a cursor, so you can scroll your finger and tap on it, and it tells you what it is, which is really nice. I'm still a big fan of the paper, though, paper charts.
Yeah. I know some people find it hard to follow them, but they are the business.
I'm a total nerd when it comes to the paper stuff. I'd happily sit there in an evening and read charts. Like, that's how bad I am.
Yeah. The rest of us are scrolling through TikTok and Marcus.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm looking at what
Yeah.
the symbol again. Oh, Jesus Christ! I didn't realize there was like protected kelp forest on that island or whatever it might be. Like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was actually looking at a video. I went back and looked at a video you done the other day of the bar between Horse Island and the Land. That was an interesting one where you worked out the chart depths and the full
I
moon
love
that
that.
time.
I wanted to do that for ages.
Yeah.
So I was actually had a conversation with somebody about the tide, and I was thinking it's not so much about you can't go there because it's low tide. I was like, actually, I could proper go there because it's low tide. There's more to do, as opposed to like your mindset is always like you have to go to these places because there's high water.
Yeah.
But I kind of tried to flip that on its head and go, actually, let's go there because it's low water. I know we won't get over there in a boat, but we'll be able to walk across there. Yeah. Yeah, the tide's an amazing thing. It blows me away all the time.
Yeah.
And it surprises me all the time. You know, it kind of like you realize that there's so many other things involved with not just the lunar cycle, but the air pressure. The weather has such a massive difference with the tide. Even at high tide, how the wind changes during the day, and amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like today, like in Cork now, I was in Crosshaven, and I was training these two lads how to dock the boat. And the pontoons in Crosshaven are on the river, so you have river flow and tidal flow. So you have about 2, maybe 3 knots of current when the tide is at its strongest to try and park a boat, and it's a serious challenge. Like it's a great skill for them to be able to pick that up, to be able to dock a boat safely, you know, because the tide is relentless. Like just because you take your hand off the throttle doesn't mean you're there, you know. You have to keep it in gear while you're tying it up, like, because it's just gonna bounce off again. You know?
Yeah, one of the best challenges I had when I was on the Scanner Star was up the island, heading up there out of the bad weather, you know, and tying up on Donovan's pontoon when the river's in full flow because you're dealing with bad weather and you're trying to get the boat in off the run into the pontoon. I tell you what, you want all your wits about you.
Yeah. As soon as you turn, the boat goes whoop. You're only a little bit of a corner of slack water.
Yeah.
I brought a catamaran, a big catamaran, like a 46-foot catamaran, up there last year. They were getting the sail drive fixed, and I brought her up, no bother, a couple of lads. And as soon as I went to turn the boat, the tide just went whoop like that because we only had one engine, and so I had to do a bit of a circle and go bring her in nice and tight and quick. Yeah,
that'll test you up there, like if it's
big time.
It's running, yeah, 100%.
He was nearly as wide as she was long. Like he was about 35 foot wide.
Yeah,
you know, yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah,
that's the nature of skippering.
Exactly. Never a dull moment. So you were saying there when I go about we're talking about Roaring Water Bay and how brilliant it is. You don't only work in Roaring Water Bay, obviously. You cover you work in a much bigger area.
Oh yeah, I work over the whole country. Yeah, the whole country basically. When they talk about inside and out, you know, like Loch Derg even.
Yeah.
But you know, anywhere up along the east coast, from Donegal all the way down to here, really. I've been to all the Coast Guard stations that have boats and deliver training for them. Whether it's their coxswains, like their captains, they're like the commanding officer of the Irish Coast Guard boats, you know, from down to their newbies, like their volunteers who have just kind of joined a year later, and they get their crew skills, and then they get their navigation skills, and then their towing skills, and get all their first aid and stuff. So yeah, the SAR stuff has taken me all over Ireland, yeah, big time.
Yeah, and that's intense.
No, I don't just do ribs. Like I've been in, you name it. There probably isn't a boat that I haven't been on.
Yeah.
And as another old fella had great advice to me. He said, you know, I've never met a boat I didn't like.
Yeah.
Look, that saying. But there's a few now on the market that I'm not a big fan of. Now again, I'm not pitching or anything like that, but some people out there are probably aware of the wheelies.
Yeah.
And the plastic fantastic, as a lot of them call them. The ones with the console and the drawbridge on the front of them. Anyone who has experience in driving those knows how difficult they are to maneuver, especially in reverse. You really have to get to grips with how they maneuver. So maneuvering in a tight, confined space is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
It make an absolute fool out of you, especially if there's people watching.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking at plastic because you will hop them off something.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They are. Look, I'm not going to say they're completely rubbish. I mean, they're very popular with clubs and places that have a lot of wear and tear in their craft. They're brilliant for that. But from a maneuverability point of view, they score 0 in my book.
Yeah, I was fair surprised when I first drove a few of them, especially when your wheel is at the back and you're looking out at the front, like it just takes off on you.
Yeah.
You're backing out from the trailer, even off the trailer, it just takes off. Whatever way there's a bit of a current, that's the way you're going.
And the tiller versions have a totally different aspect because, with tiller, you're able to move the engine much faster.
Yeah.
So you're able to actually get into the pivot point a lot quicker. Whereas when you're arcing with a steering, it's a much slower turn, so you can get something into a reverse turn a lot quicker when it's in your hand,
Yeah.
That's definitely part of it, the center console piece,
Yeah.
But not to slag anyone who has one.
As we're talking about dodgy vessels, what's your thoughts on Duncan's favourite boat, a jet ski?
PWC.
Yeah.
Personal watercraft. I feckin' love them.
Yeah.
I actually do. I love them. They're great crack. I just don't like the drivers. Drivers have the worst reputation for any boat enthusiast in the world, I think. Basically because they're noisy and they razz around in harbours and they just look really cocky and annoying. But actually, I think they're great crack. I used to have one, believe it or not. I used to have a Honda CRV, the ones with the handle used to stand up on.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those. I think it was like a 2-stroke 50. This is a while ago now, but it died a death. Basically, I just ran it into the sea.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work anymore.
That's what happens when they get old, in fairness. There's the longevity, especially the older ones, the longevity of them. But you've great crack on your one, Duncan, and it's down to the person behind the wheel at the end of the day, too. Anything can be a menace in the water. It depends on the guy behind it.
Yeah, 100%.
100%, yeah. And some places, the people who use them they pretty much wreck the place for everybody else, driving in and around piers at top speed, and just being really aggressive.
Yeah.
But you're not one of those, Duncan, sure.
No.
No. You wouldn't be like that.
No, definitely. You have to respect the laws no matter what you're on. Definitely, because even if you're on a rib, you'll wreck it for other people if you're doing 30 knots past the pier.
Yeah. There's plenty of them too.
Yeah.
There is plenty of them.
Yeah, 100%.
We have this spot down in West Cork, the Narrows, or the channel between Turk Head and Sherkin Island by the dock there. And there's a lovely bend, a blind bend, before a cardinal marker. And it's quite a tight little spot. And the amount of shenanigans that goes on in that spot on like a Sunday or a Saturday, it is frightening, the behaviour of some people. And the wash they make, the wake they get, right beside you, Yeah. I could be trundling along there at 10, 12 knots, trying to teach people how to navigate a boat. And next thing, this Egypt comes whizzing by at about 40 knots. Not a care in the world. Beyond, sometimes you'd see people, the only person wearing a life jacket is the dog.
Yeah.
And you're kind of at least the dog's going to be all right.
But the cardinal marker to them is an ornament. It's something nice in the water.
The markers?
Yeah, to those guys doing 40 knots past them, they're just something nice to look at in the water. you know.
It's gone around this way. I don't know why we do.
You'd see some crazy stuff going in the summer on the water, alright, to be fair, no.
But you know what? The best place to be is at the weekend at high tide at a pier and just sit there.
Yeah.
When you can watch people launch and recover their boats. A couple of cans there, sit in the wall and just be happy. Yeah. Honest to God, the stuff that goes on.
Yeah. And it's probably the most daunting thing for a lot of people is actually the launch and the recover. Because, like, I see it with people there, they kind of say, but, you know, so you're so used to this, you must think we're useless, like, but the way I look at it there in recent times is they're only doing it once a year. They're launching the boat once a year and they're recovering it once a year. And it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Whereas we're launching and recovering on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Multiple times sometimes. So it's no big deal to us, it's second nature, but there are people there that it's a once a year deal to launch their boat, a once a year deal to recover it. And it's a big deal to them. And you can kind of understand when you think about it. It's daunting if you can't just get your head around that thing. And the only way you're going to get your head around something is to practice it and to try it.
Really?
You know, and they don't get the opportunity to do it. So some people, you know, they
I think sometimes it's to do with having the confidence to try things.
Yeah.
You know, actually, okay, let's just fucking go for it. And if something goes wrong, it goes wrong. Well, fuck it. Because a lot of people will resist doing something because they're worried that it's all going to go to it's up and they'll never want to do it again. You know? But it's like, I always say to people, go for it. Like, you know, do it.
It's the only way you're going to get used to it. Like,
yeah. I mean, I've even just done a few things there for my own trailer. I modified the front of it so I could get in and out of it quicker myself. Yeah. So for my winches, I just put another profile across the winch post so I could step up and then hop into the top of the boat. Little things like that, and you end up doing, like you said, Brendan, you do the stuff on your own because they're so useful.
Yeah.
When it comes to launching and recovering, you know, I'm always trying to be very cautious about telling people about stuff that can go wrong, though.
Yeah.
And the safe zones for people should really be. So, if I'm teaching kids that are 17, they haven't really started driving yet, so I'm not teaching them how to reverse. But they might be the crew for the person who is launching. So I might say, okay, don't ever walk down behind the boat as it's going down the hill. You know, don't go down to the underground. If you stand where the driver is and walk down the hill while the driver is reversing, the driver has his window open. You can see everything they can't, and you can talk to them directly there. And you can go, okay, so stop. Okay, keep going. Right, we're nearly there. The wheels are under the water. Stop. So they can stay in the vehicle, they can, and then I'm going to walk back here to the trailer, and then you can unhook whatever it is you need to do. But never walk up the hill when the thing is driving up the hill either, because, you know, I mean, it's a. How often have you seen a jockey wheel or a tow hitch come off? It's very rare.
Rare, but it can happen.
It can happen.
Yeah.
You know? So keep yourself. Avoid risks, basically. You know. Don't put yourself in a situation where you could be in an accident.
Yeah.
100%.
Think before you go, isn't it? Think before you act, really. Take a second to think before you act, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. But launching is a very simple thing as well.
It is, but that's like the man said, that what I was saying, it's easy for us to say.
That's very true. Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah. It's different to a guy who's, like I say, doing it once or twice a year. It is done.
I mean, the Coast Guard have a full procedure for launch and recovery. It's part of their pre-launch checklist, this thing called G01. And it's a step-by-step roll. And what happens next for launching a boat and recovering a boat. You know, it's even like making an assessment on the slipway first, things like that. The role of the crew, the role of the driver. Like, the driver never gets out of the vehicle in a Coast Guard boat when they're launching. He never wears a life jacket when he's in the boat, in the vehicle, because, you know, if something really bad happened in the vehicle and boat trailer end up in the piss, he's in a vehicle with a life jacket on.
Yeah.
That's going to inflate and he's going to get stuck in the bloody thing. You know, they really have it finely detailed. And you'd read it and go, Jesus Christ, I'm never going to fucking watch it.
Yeah.
You know, it's way too risky.
Yeah.
But
there are simple things to watch. Like having a look at the slip is great. Like hop out of your car and walk back and have a little look, because they're not all pristine clean.
So
you know?
my rule of thumb would be the third hour either side of low water is perfect for launching, right? The third hour. Now you have 6 hours between low tide and high tide, but anything after the third hour is going to be grand.
Yeah.
You're going to have water there, and you're not going to have any growth on your wheels, because that'll all be underwater. Yeah. So half tide. Anything after half tide is fine. Anything below half tide, it's going to get riskier for you. And that's a big window, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if I had to launch a boat tomorrow now, I'd be looking at the tide this evening and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll do it when, you know, whatever time it's just a quick glance and you go, right, we'll do it then.
Yeah.
Or get it in the night before or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, people are wondering where to find tidal information. The best place that my go-to is obviously my phone nowadays, but it's an app called Tides Near Me. There is no other app as far as I'm concerned. It's unbelievable. And you just get the data for the week. Info just looks, I know you can't really see that, but you get the 2 highs, the 2 lows for the 24-hour period. You get the heights. That's all you need.
That's it, yeah.
You know, that's all you need. Like tomorrow morning now, 8:30 is low water, and it's 0.67 meters. So we're on the springs there, you know. I tide down to roughly 6 hours later. 10 to 3. Yeah, Tides Near Me.
Tides Near Me, yeah, that's what I use as well, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so handy, isn't it? So quick.
Yeah.
Navionics has the tides as well, though.
Is it on the app as well? I never really
Yeah. If you look at the harbours and stuff, you usually find a little red arrow somewhere, and you tap on the red arrow, and the tide comes in on the bottom. And the nice thing about that is, if you scroll your finger along the tidal curve, like that, it actually changes the depth on the chart.
Okay.
Yeah. Have a mess with it. It's really good.
Jeez, I must have that. Yeah.
If you're paying for the app now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I don't think the free version comes with that. But the paid one definitely does.
Yeah. The paid one is worth having.
100%.
What is it, 50 quid for the year or something?
50 quid or something like that.
Yeah. Well worth having.
I could be going on somebody's boat now and they don't have nav gear.
Yeah.
So I bring the tablet along on a bracket and I have a little case for it. I just mount it up on the dash. Even yesterday now I had a cable tied onto the frame in the rib. So the lads were able to use it and zoom in.
Fierce handy.
Yeah, like yesterday now, for instance, we went from Crosshaven. We used all the navigation channel. You know, there's like a priority shipping lane in Cork for all of the traffic that's coming in and out. So we went up through the traffic lane, up to Cove, around Hall Bowling, under the bridge, and then back out again, and then back down towards Crosshaven. Again, it's like 12 miles altogether. It was a lovely little run.
Nice run, yeah.
Yeah, lovely little run. And tide was perfect because we were able to go under the bridge there.
Oh, fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, you know the spot. It's really nice. The Hall Bowling.
Yeah.
Is it Dogs Island? The little small island?
That's right, yeah. Dog, I think, yeah.
And then you've got the Ring of Skiddy side then. But, there's a lot of big ships up there.
Yeah.
One of the carriers was there. You know, one of the big, huge livestock things.
Oh, yeah.
Huge joke. Like, it's just all panels. Like, there's no windows or anything. It's just skyscraper on the water.
Is the Matthew still up there?
It is, yeah. It's up the river a bit further.
On the IFI?
Up past Monkstown on the way up. Or Passage.
It's on the IFI slip, so is it?
Yeah, across from where all the timber is.
Yeah, that was the old IFI plant there, yeah.
Someone say that's $100,000 a month.
Yeah,
Costing.
yeah, 1.2 million a year. Yeah, that's
Fuck
ridiculous. Yeah,
We should make.
that's going to end up more than likely in the likes of Cork Metal. Do you know?
No, it wouldn't even be worth it. I'd say it'd be worth just sinking it.
Yeah, it probably better, to be honest.
You can refund for tourists.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were just saying you were in Cork now doing a course the last couple of days. That's the off season for you, is it? As we call it, the off season, the winter season, going around different places doing courses and.
Yeah. No, summertime I'd be definitely here at home as much as I can. Yeah, down here. Off season will take me anywhere, really. Like next weekend now, for instance, I am going to. It's not powerboating. It's Tipperary Fire Brigade Fire Service next weekend. We're doing this thing for the Coast Guard, where the management teams learn about scenarios, about decision making. So Tipperary Fire Service have this place called the Hydra Suite, and the Hydra Suite is basically like a simulation room where you go into a high pressure situation and you're told to make decisions, and those decisions that you make are reflected up on the screen. So it's kind of like a role play. So basically, one scenario could be like there's an accident at sea, and you have to deploy a team for this accident. But it turns out that you don't have a full team for the boat. You only have enough to bring a drone, or some of them are late, or you have to start juggling all these little bits together. But that'll be next week now. It's at the Irish Coast Guard's Officer in Charge Conference. It's on in Clonmel. So I'm at that for like 3 days. And there's a bit of prep for that now, but it'll be grand.
Yeah. Interesting work.
A lot of old colleagues and stuff with all the old heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I could be teaching first aid. I'm going up to Galway to do something I think soon enough with the University of Galway, with the students up there. I'll be over in Kerry as well at some stage. But I'll be wrapping up, like I'd say the second week of December. I'd probably pack it in then for a while.
Yeah.
And have a reset,
Staying out of the cold for a little while.
That's it. Yeah. Wash all my gear.
Yeah, get all the salt off and get it dried off.
So,
like, how was would you be getting bookings now for next summer from people for power boats yet, or have you opened that up yet?
I have my calendar here behind me, and I'm already filling in days.
Okay.
And some of them would be like a repeat, So I would say the likes of Crookhaven, right? Crookhaven Harbour Sailing Club. They really only run in July because most of them are from, say, Cork, and they've come down for the summer holidays, and their kids all go sailing and powerboating and instructing. So I pretty much write off the first 2 weeks of July every year. I have done for the last 6 or 7 years. And then you have Bantry as well. So Bantry, the rowing club and the sailing club. I do loads of work with them throughout the year. But they're blocks that are just gone. They just disappear.
Yeah.
Which actually are really nice to know that that's squared away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's solid nearly every year. And
me about the job, I'm like, no, sorry, that's already booked in the schedule, but maybe next week or the week after that we can do something,
Yeah. Yeah, I find it fierce handy, like passing your name on to people there. We'll say a father might have or a family might have a boat there, and their kids might be just coming up to the age where they'd be looking for the boat for, can I take the buddies out for a spin and stuff, and they might just want the full-blown course, but get you along to say, look, this is how this works, this is how this works. If something happens, this is what you do, this is how you use your anchor safely.
There's like that. There's a lot of customers.
Yeah.
So it's not just Irish sailing registered, like certified training courses.
Yeah, there's an easy going side to it as well. Like there's
100%, 100%. Yeah. I mean, there's fellas there who'd be like, as well, like almost the opposite of that. We're like, oh, I've been using boats my whole life now, and I went to get insured, and if your man says I need to have the cert, and I'm like, okay, well, that's great. Well, they kind of don't want to be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just want the piece of paper.
Yeah.
So I kind of ask them, what is it you'd like to focus on? I might send them the syllabus for the course and say, have a read of that now. And if there's something in there that you don't know, you tell me and we'll work on that stuff, 9 times out of 10, they go, oh yeah, maybe that and that and that and that. But I teach, I find the boyage a good one, people who, they've seen the boys out there, they've been out for years and they don't know what the fuck they mean, What the hell is that one for? Why is that black and yellow? And why is that yellow and black? Whoa.
Yeah. Why are they pointing up and down? Where's up and down? Like, that's not left or right. Why are they up and down?
Somebody asked me before, it's like, why is there a cross on that one? Did somebody die?
But
something that changed recently in the ILA system. So we have ILA, the International Lighthouse Authorities, right? Association. We have ILA A and ILA B. So we're in ILA A. We're all using port and starboard the proper way. Whereas in ILA B, in America, port and starboard is the other way around.
Yeah.
But all the other boys are the same. But it's constantly being reviewed. So we have a boy at the moment. It's probably one in Castletown Bear this week. You know what happened in Castletown?
Oh, yeah.
On last Wednesday? Did you hear what happened?
I did.
Yeah. So, 1 second there. So there's one particular marker buoy that gets deployed when a vessel sinks. It's very rare to see it. What's it there? See that?
Yeah.
So it's called an emergency wreck buoy. But they're reviewing the language around it now, and it's going to be called from now on new danger.
Okay.
Yeah, because it can mean something else. It doesn't have to be a wreck. So you have the likes of drifting timber that's wedged itself into a river, and they have to get work done to get it out of there. Or it might not just be a wreck, but new danger as opposed to emergency wreck.
Okay.
And they flash blue and yellow at night. And that's the one your man asked me. He's like, did somebody die? Because it has a cross on it.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a chess game. Like, some people, I wonder, is there anyone on here, right? We need to give them a prize. I wonder have we got prizes. Who can tell me what they are? Do you know what they are? So
road traffic cones, Mark.
So what?
Road traffic cones. What are they doing in the water?
So normally, when you're entering a channel, right, or a harbour, you've got red. Okay, red means port. As you're heading in, it's on your port side, your left side. You stay near the green side as you come in. Okay, that's most people know what that is. Keep that on your left, basically, right? But this one, it's still red, but the preferred way in is the starboard. It's called a bifurcation mark or a preferred channel marker. So you might have a river and an island in the middle of the river. The island is, this buoy will be in front of the island. This is telling you that the best way in is that way. Yeah? So you're still keeping it on your port side, but the best way in is to starboard. So it's preferred. But we don't have many of these in Ireland. We have a few of them on the, say, Loch Corrib or up in Carlingford. You know Carlingford Loch up there?
Okay, yeah.
So that now is the preferred way to port. So I keep it here on this side of me. I keep it to starboard and I go in that way. Yeah. Not a lot of people know those ones. These are great. These are 3D printed.
They're fantastic. I was looking at them, yeah. They're brilliant.
Yeah, I've got the whole lot of them. I've got all of the cardinal marks. This fella, you know what that is?
Black and
red.
Black and red.
2 balls on the top.
You're going to catch me out now anyway.
So that's an isolated danger mark. So that's telling me that basically there's something directly underneath it. There's a danger under it. And an old lad told me how to remember that. It's like, if you hit that, that's balls up.
You're going to catch us out now. We should have brushed up on our boys and Mark before we came on. You'd be putting too much to shame here.
The other ones then, like, the most important ones really are your directional buoys. They tell you about the direction you're supposed to be going in, as opposed to the other ones. They're kind of indicating that there's a hazard somewhere. They're telling you that, potentially consult the chart. That's what they're telling you. They give you something, very aware that there's something over there. What is it? You can look at your chart and go, oh, it's that. Whereas these fellas, these are about the direction you're going.
Yeah.
So you have north, south, east, and west. So you're going to need a compass.
Yeah.
Or a clear way to know where north is at the very least.
Yeah.
And if you see a north cardinal buoy on the water, you keep to the north of that buoy. That's the water you can navigate.
Yeah.
They don't say safe. They don't imply safety at any time at all when it comes to these buoys. They say consult your chart. It's that direction. That's the way you're supposed to go. You can navigate that water over there. So they absolve themselves from any kind of wrongdoing. There is one safe buoy though. This one, the people in Cork love this one. That one. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
But that's the only one that's called a safe water marker. And that can be out in the middle of nowhere in really, really deep water for like ships. And that's basically, the big ships that are on the way into Cork Harbour, they stop there, they call the pilot, and they say, right, we're at the Cork buoy. The Cork buoy? And then they head away in from there on. But that's it's worth having a bit of a memory game with these, like your little.
Oh, absolutely! There's so many of them. You would want to do something on them every now and again.
Farms and water pipes and stuff that are in the water, even swimming areas. Now, like up in the 40-foot in Dublin, very close to there, they have a big boxed area with these. University of Galway out in Galway Bay have a load of these out for where they do all the testing of the seaweed and the marine farms that they have up there.
You've got them there in Roaring Water Bay as well at the mussel farms, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, actually, you're obliged to have them. If you have a farm now in your planning application, you have to have those. Yeah, they have to be lit. Yeah. And you're supposed to have two. Those yellow ones, the X, either side of the territory where you have your whatever it is you have to have one both sides to show there's something in that area there that's.
Yeah.
Any cool questions come up there?
I was just going to say, Duncan.
Yeah, I don't think so. I was keeping an eye on. There wasn't too many questions. Well, Mark, you answered most of them, I think. Yeah, there was nothing else really. Nothing else came up. Huh?
I'll put you on the spot. Have you anything for Mark?
I don't think so. I think the voyage there, I need to brush up on it.
Really?
Yeah, there was a couple there I didn't know myself. So no, there's so many. Like you said, Brendan, it's hard to keep track of them all, and you get a bit complacent if you're on the water all the time and you're like, sure, I know this place. There's no need. You get complacent and you'd be caught out there in a fresh place in a shot.
There's one lovely scheme that Irish Sailing have. It's a 1-day shore-based course, and it's the navigation for small boats, coastal navigation. And everybody who comes away from that gains so much from it. Honestly, it's brilliant. It's all about the voyage, passage planning, weather checking, and it's only a day. There's a ton that you learn from it, and you walk away with a massive amount of resource in your head, and a thirst for more as well, which is nice for a lot of people. So I'll book you in, Doug.
Do put me down for a spot.
Yeah. I will be doing some. I'll be doing some in the spring.
Yeah,
because I'll be doing the advanced powerboat courses in the springtime. I actually have one on in Cork, I think, before Christmas. I've got one coming up in March. One in March. But I'll have a few down this way.
And for anyone watching there now, Mark, if they were, we'll say, that might be thinking you need a group of lads to go and do these courses, people can contact you individually. And
100%. You don't need a group.
Yeah, no. You'll make up the group yourself, or you'll do them individually if the person wants. Or
what I normally do is I try to schedule stuff and have a website that has the dates on it. and then somebody might find something suitable on there and then just send me an email.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of trying to work myself into a more of a unique environment where I'd rather have a conversation with anyone I take on first.
Yeah.
Like it kind of says like booking by appointment only, because there are other providers out there. You'll find a website that is selling Powerball courses, and you click into it, and you can buy a Powerball course for yourself or a friend on a particular date and show up on that morning, and you have no expectations. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know who the instructor is. There's no real filler, you know. Whereas I'd like if Duncan emailed me, I could have a bit of banter back and forward with him. I could send him some forms, send him some info, tell him what we're doing. He'll know what to expect. So I'm trying to keep my business on a more of a small scale. It suits me that way, and it suits them a lot more, you know.
It's more personal as well, and you
Way more personal. Yeah. Oh Jesus, yeah, big time. I'm not Lord Sugar. Like I'm not trying to dominate the industry or anything, you know.
Yeah. For anyone that is watching there, be sure and follow Mark and follow his Irish Marine training page as well. There's a lot of great videos on it. There's informational videos, there's fun videos. Like I know something you do quite regular there on your own page is the beach cleans. You love the beach cleans summer.
Yeah. And actually, I'm really passionate about that. You know, I've always been an advocate for picking up marine plastic and stuff off the beaches. I actually have an award. I won an award last year from Antoshka, the Ocean Hero Award, believe it or not. Now I don't carry it around with me, so I don't have it to show you.
Is it not behind you there, no?
It's displayed in my trophy room down at the other west building. But yeah, no, I do. I'm big into the beach cleaning kind of thing. More so for myself, really. It's very chill. You know, I'm not trying to shove it down people's throats going, oh, isn't this terrible? The world is awful. Everything's polluted.
Yeah.
It's not about that. That's dead now. That kind of narrative is boring to me. You know, I just go ahead and pick shit up.
Yeah.
Put it in the bin. You know, it makes sense to me to do that. You know? But yeah, believe it or not, a jury of my peers decided to give me an award for doing that.
That's fantastic. Fair play.
You know what? I was surprised, to be honest. It really was.
It's a bit of fun as well because you actually don't know what you're going to find on a beach.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone about that the other day. I have some mad shit here that I found. I have
about the stuff from Dunlop Bay. No, we're not talking about that.
No, that's different. Yeah. A fireman's helmet.
Great.
Yeah, I have it there. I found this bottle from North Korea or from Taiwan or somewhere of bleach. The newspapers actually interviewed me a while ago, and they're asking me about the maddest things that I ever found. And the maddest thing I ever found was a torpedo, and it was from the Ministry of Defence. It wasn't an ordnance torpedo. Now it was a GPS tracker, but it was about a metre long, with a little turbine down the end of it, and a glass front, a glass dome in the front with all the mechanisms in the front of it. So I picked it up off the beach and went, Jesus Christ, I better ring one of the lads there. I knew a guy in the army, so I rang him. He goes, oh yeah, there'll be somebody down tomorrow. And within 6 hours, there was somebody down. 2 lads came down from Fermoy, and they took it away. But yeah, it clearly was a British torpedo. Wow. It was on a beach down near Crew Bay. Do you know Crew Bay? It's kind of near Gubeen.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of on the way to Goleen kind of thing. Yeah, that was a bit mad.
Yeah.
But we find mad things like lobster tags from Maine, from the east coast of the United States. And when they tag a lobster, they put a thing on, but they're all individually coded, so you can trace them back.
Yeah.
And shotgun cartridges, we get a lot of shotgun cartridges, and they have been traced to Nova Scotia. And apparently there's a sort of a duck hunt or a bird hunt in Nova Scotia every year. So that the locals are out there, fire, bang, bang, bang. They go into the river. When they go into the river, they hit the Atlantic, they hit one of the streams, and they make their way over to Ireland. and land up on our beaches. Wild,
It's amazing, like the stuff
isn't it?
travels.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like
Yeah,
the history of over every little piece of plastic that washes up on the beach. It's
yeah,
very
yeah.
interesting.
It is, really is. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. So, geez, Mark, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure, man. I'm really delighted to meet John. I'm telling you, yeah, we're over an hour on now already. Brilliant. If anyone has any questions, shoot them in. And like I say, follow Mark and follow the Irish Marine Training page because there's lots of interesting videos. And you'll contact Mark if you want any training done or any pointers or anything like that.
Now, Duncan, tell me this: what is the 10 in the top corner of my screen mean?
I was actually just looking at what the 6 in the top corner of my screen meant, so I haven't a clue.
Watching this live from your side. So they're not watching my live, they're watching it through your page. That's what that meant.
Ah,
Do you get loads of cartridges out beside Slinehead as well? Always wonder where they came from. Galway, now you know. Oh, new followers. New followers. Thanks, Galway. Yeah, they're mad, isn't it?
New followers. I thought that was people watching.
If you Google that, Galway, about the shotgun cartridges, there's actually an article in the Irish Examiner somewhere. So somebody who did the research on it. So I'm not talking shite here. It's actually the real deal. 12 new followers. Oh my God. I'm going to be overwhelmed here, lads.
Tap away, follow them. It's well worth it, I assure you.
Yeah. And maybe I'll be setting up a live now soon, Brendan, and you can come on my live.
Yeah.
So who's planning on having next? Have you got anyone else interesting?
I have a few in mind, but I don't like saying it because I don't like putting people on the spot, you know? So I do have a few in mind. Like I was saying to you the other day, I just want to get the word out there about the marine and who's involved around the place. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I might have a few tips for you. I might have a few people that might want to do it, so I can pass them on from other parts of this industry, like a few fishermen maybe. There might be a few people who like to talk.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, there's plenty of fishermen I know who like to talk, so.
Yeah.
Some of them you can't.
But they're very careful in what they say then when other people are listening. You see, they might talk to you and me, but they'll be very careful when there's 20 or 30 people listening to them. They might go very quiet. You know.
Yeah.
But I know. I'd like to get a few people on over the winter and just get a bit of something going, like get a bit of awareness, like that you're there to help people just as much as I'm there to help them with their engines and their boats.
Like if anybody is thinking about joining this industry, you know, there's loads of us out there who can give advice. You know, if you are looking at getting a commercial ticket or something like that, you know, there's a pathway to that. I mean, I'm well happy to guide anyone through that. I've mentored a lot of people now over the years to find careers in the sea, and they've always been fantastic lads. You know. The few lads there now that they're doing the sonar surveys, they're mapping the seabeds all around the coastal areas, and they're going great guns, like they're loving it.
Yeah.
And then
there's so much. Actually, there's so much in the marine sector. There's so many variants of jobs. It's
massive,
huge.
And cover now for like the film industry. You know, I was doing a bit of that this year, and you know what? The money is pretty handy, but it's the most boring fucking job you'll ever do. You're just hanging around doing fuck all.
Yeah.
It's really boring. But
I remember meeting you, I think the day after you were doing that.
You have to sit in their holes for the day. No? They're just sitting in their holes in a boat.
Yeah. You could be sitting in your hole in the worst place, to be fair.
Totally. Yeah, better than sitting in the car, you know. No, there's plenty of jobs that I wouldn't take.
Marian says, "Don't sit on the fence there, Mark."
Oh man! Yeah.
You've been caught.
I just love it. You're right. I did love it, but it was fucking boring. He's just gaslighting me now. Fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else I wanted to say?
Are you going to the Marine Federation event on Thursday in Athlone? I didn't even know there was one on.
No, I'm not going to that. No, but the Marine Federation event. No, I don't know anything about it, to be honest. No, I'm prepping for a Coast Guard event on the weekend. We're going to the Hydra Suite of Tipperary Fire Service this weekend, which should be good. I'm looking forward to that. They have a safety officer course coming up in the Royal Cork Yacht Club then on the 15th. I've still got quite a lot of stuff on, to be honest. Calves Week is something that I prepare for every year. It takes a long time. There's a lot of paperwork for that. Do all the risk assessments and stuff for those big events. I just did the Junior Champion Sailing Cup there. But they're brilliant things to be involved with. They're all brilliant people. They everyone needs a safety officer, but nobody knows what a safety officer does until you need them.
Yeah.
That's the best one I've ever heard.
You know what I'd love to see, and I'm going to start saying it in the lives, and someone might steer it in some direction sometime, is a proper boat show for Ireland. I know we've got the skipper one in Limerick every year.
There used to be one.
There used to be one in the RDS years ago and stuff like that. I know that. But like, Duncan and I were in Dusseldorf there in January, and I was at a kind of a boat show event in Italy, and it's just we're missing out so much in Ireland. But I think it needs to be done. One in the country. What's that?
Well, why don't we start one so our own one?
I tell you, that's what we'll do.
The only person that had the balls to put on a boat show was the lads in Baltimore. The last year.
Atlantic boating. Yeah. Fantastic.
And it was brilliant as well. I always made sure to go over on the Sunday.
Same as that. Brilliant. Yeah. It was. They done it so well. And I know it was their own focus, but like, there's nowhere else for them to go and show their boats. Yeah. So, in fairness to them, and they put on a great show. They're massive Zeppelins there.
Yeah, as well as I do. They don't do anything by halves anyway. They're the best at what they do. They really are.
Is there adequate? Is there slipway etiquette?
Paddy's Point. Yeah, at Paddy's Point you can launch and recover at all tides.
Oh yeah.
Paddy's is very handy, but it's probably one of the only useful slips in the whole of Cork Harbour.
Yeah.
Tide wise, you can launch in there, and you can even be howly gale, and you'll still get your boat in and out of the water there.
I suppose you launch at the ferry crossing on the river, but you'll have to avoid the ferry, like you're going to be swift.
No, you've got tidal streams and everything there. It's pain the whole. Paddy's is probably the best spot.
Yeah.
It's like, for the size of Cork and the amount of people that are in Cork, there's more facilities in West Cork between Baltimore and Cookhaven than there is in the whole of Cork City. And there's 200,000 people in Cork, is there? 250,000?
Yeah. Like it is great there. Like you're based in Schull, so if you head out from Schull, head over to Cookhaven for the day. The next day you could head to Cape Clear. The next day you could be in Baltimore, Hare Island, Long Island. Yeah. The Fastness, let's face it. It's a savage spot. It's a brilliant
island. There's 8 or 9 islands there that you can land on, and there's nobody on it.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic area. We're lucky to be down here.
If you've ever been on the East Coast, say, not to rain on anyone's parade, like with Greystones, for instance, right? You go out onto the water and that's it. There is nothing. It's just the sea. All it is like one big long wall, all the way to Wexford, all the way up to the other side of Dublin. There's nothing. There's not an island. There's not a beach. There's not a. Yeah. It's just shoreline,
Yeah.
Whereas we've got so much down here.
There is.
We shouldn't be telling people this stuff.
No, we should hide it. We shouldn't give them directions or anything.
Don't tell them where the rocks are.
Yeah.
No, you're grand. You can go over there, yeah.
Geez, absolutely. Was the pontoon busy in Schull now this year? It was crazy.
Oh, it's very busy, yeah. Very, very busy. Yeah. A good busy though. No, it wasn't manic. You know.
Things were a little bit tamer, I thought, this year. As in, we'll say there wasn't the mad crowds around. I know Cars Week is an exceptional week in Schull for being busy. But other than that, things were a little bit more measured, I think, this year. They were more spread out. It wasn't as manic as other years. A bit more relaxed, I think. I suppose there's a lot of new people after buying boats since COVID as well. And I think now they've got their legs in, they're a bit more used to it.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. My favourite customer is the one who's going to buy a boat.
Yeah.
And they come to me first. And then I meet other people who go, oh, fuck's sake, we should have asked you first. Because they would go and buy a boat and it's not suitable for what they need, or, oh, the missus, she hates a fucking rib.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be sitting like fucking Mary Poppins on the deck of the boat going to Cape Clear. She wants a cabin. Why didn't I speak to you first? But yeah, there is an awful lot of people since COVID now. I suppose they didn't use that money to go overseas.
Well, that was it. I had a lot of people ringing me after when things started opening up with the 20k, the 5k, and the 20k. They were ringing around that time, and they were all kind of aware that they were not going on holidays for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
They were kind of thinking that was their budget then to buy into the boating scene. Because a lot of people had that. Those lines were said to me like, we're not going to be going abroad now for 2 years, so we've got X amount that we can allocate on a boat and enjoy at home. It was great, but again, a lot of them didn't know what they were buying, and unfortunately at the time, everything was being snapped up all around them, so people bought in a panic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's an awful lot of shite for sale as well.
Yeah.
People were kind of stung. A lot of people I know anyway were stung by picking up something that was, what's the saying, mutton dressed as lamb.
Yeah.
It was something that those were way up on it, and it was an old 2-stroke, and the tubes, all the photographs were all shiny.
Yeah.
Yourself, there's a couple of stories even more recent than that where people were almost done out of a very large sum of money from fraudulent sales, we call it.
Yeah.
We
all see it.
I think since the COVID thing, maybe people had a bit of capital. They thought they were going on holiday, so they go and buy a boat, thinking, we'll have it for a couple of years and we'll sell it again.
Yeah.
But then they realised how much crack they were having, so they've kept those boats. So they're enjoying them now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of brands out there now. There's a lot of brands. Like when I started training people, to be honest, man, a rib was only used in maybe diving environments or military, obviously, and maybe some sailing clubs would have like a crash boat.
Yeah,
that was a rib, and a rib was not a multi-purpose like a pleasure craft.
Not at all.
No, not at all. Like it was very rare to even find them outside of the industry that people were actually having for the crack.
Yeah.
And now I think they're probably the biggest boat, are they? They're probably
the most common by far now, everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a rib. People are buying ribs, they're not buying boats, they're buying ribs.
They're buying ribs.
Yeah. It's a huge market, and it's like there's, like you were saying, there's so many new brands and there's so many brands out there. There is, and it's great because there's a boat for whatever you want. There is that leisurely, all seated out couch seating boat, wrap around seating behind it. And then there is the get on the jockey seat and hit the big waves. There's that boat as well. Yeah. So and there's everything in between.
Totally. And there's some lovely ones. I just picked up another Subwoofer magazine. I got this one, the motorboat one. Do you know this one? You know that one?
Motorboat. I do. I haven't got that in years.
They talk about the Mill Pro. Have you seen the Zodiac Mill Pro?
I haven't seen that, no.
Oh, fucking lovely. It literally, porn for dads. It's like when you're looking at some of these boats, it's like, oh, what? Start to drool. But the Milpro is a fabulous looking rib.
Yeah. Were
She's
they
got
in
the,
Dusseldorf?
she's got the top, the T tops,
Sure.
but she's the structured lower end of that center console
Okay.
with the flash screen and then the square top on the back of it. What a boat! What a beautiful. But she's still a rib. It's still a bouncer.
Yeah.
I think there's a picture of it here somewhere, but yeah, absolutely stunning. No, but the Milpro, the Zodiac. Zodiac has always been one of my favorites, to be honest.
Zodiac.
Just the build quality and
They're around
the
for
build
a long
quality
time.
is there compared to some of the others,
Yeah. They're around a long time now, Zodiacs.
A rib is a great option for somebody new to boats. Giant fender all around it. You're very right, Josh.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, don't remember, like, if you're parking a rib, if you're putting a rib, say, in a pontoon, like a public place, make sure you've got fenders for that boat as well. Because it's not a giant fender. It will, will get damaged. It does get worn. You're right. There is a lot of, what you call it, forgiveness between docking and contacts. But if you were trained properly, you wouldn't have to worry about that either.
Yeah.
How many islands are called Care Island around the coast? Isn't that funny? I don't know.
Here, there's a lot of islands named the same. Like Adam Island there on the way into Union Hall, there's a load of Adam Islands on the coast. Rabbit Island is another one.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. When you
Boat.
What's that?
Goat Island.
Goat. Yeah.
Island. Yeah.
Most of the animal names is a pile of horse, goat, rabbit. They're everywhere. Like those ones.
Yeah. There's one I'd love to know a bit more about it. It's Quarantine Island.
Quarantine at the mouth of the island.
Quarantine is the name of the island. It's beside Sandy Island.
Yeah.
You know,
mouth of the island river there.
Between Turkhead and the dock.
Yeah. They reckon that's where they used to put the animals when they'd bring them in. They'd land them there.
Oh.
And leave them there to keep an eye on them for a few days that they'd notice if they land before they check them before they'd be landed on the land. Yeah. Apparently so. That's what I was told.
Yeah, that makes sense, to be honest. Yeah. I thought there was something a bit more nefarious about it, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know who I asked, one of the older boys there in Hare Island or one of them, and they told me that. Yeah.
There's some incredible bits of history that we're sitting on down here.
Unreal.
Fascinating stories.
Yeah.
Brookhaven is one of these places as well that is just teeming with history. And I think it should be exploited more. Like even just outside of Schull, there's a shipwreck that they found when they were doing some municipal works. They were putting a pipeline. They were waiting for low tide, so they got the digger in and they were digging out a trench so they could lay a pipe. They found like bits of pottery and bits of structure, and it turned out to be a shipwreck. And they traced it back to the sacking of Baltimore. When the Moors came from North Africa, kidnapped a lot of paddies, threw them on the boat and back into Africa. So they found coconut husk in the silt and the skeleton of a monkey just outside Schull there, just around the corner. But it's a proper North African pirate ship, just only 2 miles from where I'm sitting here.
But the amount of wrecks in that bay, from the mizzen to the fastnet into Baltimore, into the Stags there must be 1,000 wrecks in there.
You ever see those charts with all of the things on them?
Well, remember when they done the survey for the breakwater in Baltimore, they found over 100 wrecks between Baltimore Pier and Sherkin Pier.
Jesus Christ.
Over 100 wrecks inside the bay.
Wow.
And the calves are littered in wrecks.
Yeah.
years ago, you'd hear the divers getting the gold sovereigns out
Yeah.
of the sound.
There's a World War II there between Calves and Cape Clear.
There's which?
A World War One submarine.
Between the Calves and Cape.
Yeah. Kind of in the triangle near the fastnet somewhere on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's another one outside Union Hall, and there's another one. Is it South Castle Townsend? There's a good two of them around.
They have a bit of the history around the area.
Yeah.
I've always thought when I'm ever training someone and I'm focusing on training someone, I'm focusing on the procedures and the kind of the technical aspects of safe boating. And I tend to sometimes take my eye off the prize of why I'm doing what I'm doing, because people are trying to get out there and enjoy things. So I tend to throw a little bit of that in there when I'm teaching.
And
It keeps it interesting for me as well. So
yeah, and like it's stuff we take for granted some of the time. To be fair,
yeah,
like, I used to notice that when I was on the tour boat, when we used to do the whale watching and we used to go to the fastnet for a spin and stuff like that. You kind of forget and that these people are completely new to the area, and a slight little story you have about something that happened in the fastnet during the Civil War. It's huge news to these. They never heard about it. This is the one story they never heard about fastnet, or there's.
It's like with the very beginning when we were talking about sharing some of your day-to-day, the mundane.
Yeah.
Might just seem so rudimentary that you're fiberglass in the back ass of a fucking transom. But to somebody else, it's like, oh my god, is that how it's done?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like on TikTok. I'm diving deep into some of these videos of seeing fellas fixing stuff. I'm like, you clever bastard. That's how he did it. Now I know how he did it. Even like, do you think like there's hundreds of thousands of kids out there who wouldn't know how to put a bung into the back of a boat?
Yeah.
With a bit of or to fix something that was thread bound. Like little things like.
Yeah.
There's definitely room for all that.
I think
but
there is.
You're like the trailer videos now. They made me really embarrassed about the state of my trailer the other day. Fucking hell, he's really cross when he sees my trailer rocked up in his yard. I better get that tire fixed.
Well, whatever it's like, Mark, I assure you I've seen a lot worse.
I know that.
Yeah.
It'll make it from Schull all the way to Premier League anyway, so.
Yeah.
It only has to be a few miles.
Absolutely. I've had fellas that, like, I've refused to pull their trailer back to my place, saying that, look, I need to go and get the breakdown gear. And no. We'll bring it. Don't be doing that. That's just too much money spent. And then you get a phone call a couple of hours later. Do you have the breakdown gear?
Are you far away?
I had a fella a couple of years ago. His boat was in Crookhaven, and I had a look at it, and I said, no. I said, look, she's not going to make it. I said, that trailer's not fit to be on the road. It wasn't coming to me for the trailer job. It was coming to me for a different job. And I just looked at it and said, sorry, no, I won't throw that. And then, what's wrong with you? He said, I brought it from Cork. And I said, it's grand, sure, you can bring it if you want. I said, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And I should look, I'll drop it up tomorrow evening. I'm heading back tomorrow evening, I'll drop it up tomorrow evening. I said, fine, yeah, no matter. And I heard nothing, and there was no boat arriving, and about 8 o'clock that night I got a phone call going, come here, the boat's about 2 miles outside Drumleague. Outside the road. I got a farmer to push it into the field. You wouldn't go and get it there Monday, would you?
And for some reason, isn't it always the ditch side wheel?
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, yeah.
Why is it always the ditch side?
The roughest side of the road, it's the roughest.
At least they're not out on the traffic.
Yeah. And if you think about it, which is going along, the road is cambered that way. Yeah. So when she bounces, the weight is falling on that wheel constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to give. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually, here's a funny story before I go. I'm going to finish up, but I was in the US with another guy from Schull, and we were at this big international event. It was the Star, it's a type of sailing boat, right? It was the Star World Championships, and we had to bring from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. We had to bring two boats. They were double stack trailer. Now these boats are big, like they're 28 foot long, a big keel boat, like really long boat. So the trailer that we had was an aluminium trailer, it was a big, huge stacker, like, and it was a double axle. Like, we were driving on the highway. We had a big, a Ford F-350. You know those? Fucking huge, right? Bombing along anyway from Fort Lauderdale, going between the islands on the bridges, and I'm looking out the window because Perry was driving. And I looked out the window and saw a wheel overtake us. And we were doing 80 miles an hour, you know. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, fuck, dude, pull in quick. We've lost the wheel. Thing sheared off the bolts, like, bang, 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 gone. Like, so we pulled in. And within, not messing, you know, within 4 minutes, the highway patrol had come alongside because we'd pulled in. And he started giving out to us, saying, we can't pull in here. And we're like, we're really sorry, but the trailer is fucked. And your man, the cop, actually was going to give Kerry a citation for pulling in that spot, like a ticket.
Wow.
And even we were only doing what we could. But then AAA was called. AAA came, fixed the wheel, and we were on our way. It was like 4 hours later or whatever. So then, yeah, trailers are important to make sure that
if you're doing the distance with them, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. I've had fellas. I had one fella bought a boat up in, he was up in Kilkenny, Carl up in Kilkenny area. He bought this fairly good sized trophy, 1800 trophy. So a good size, maybe close on just over a ton of a boat. And he was bringing it down to me to get checked over before he headed off to the sea with it. And you know where my place is, Mark. He drove up and he went back in, and he made it halfways in, and she fell over. The wheel just fell off. I went over and I looked, and the stub sticking out was red.
Oh, lad.
The bearing was non-existent. I don't know how she made it. Like, just fell flat. So he was delighted where it happened. Like, he just unhitched her and picked off home, left him there from my place. Yeah.
We always tell people if they travelled over a long distance as well, it might be worth it for viewers. But, don't launch your boat after a long journey. Just chill out, let it calm down, let things cool. Because the amount of injuries the trailers can get from going in hot into cold water, they just crack it.
Yeah.
Just let it chill out for a while and then launch it.
Yeah.
Don't be bound by the tide. Like, you know, don't be in a rush to get it in.
Yeah.
It does happen.
And
really
you'll
does.
often
People
find
go all the way from Dublin, and they'll drive all the way to Cork, and they go, right, no, let's just get the boat in now. And they drive straight to the slip and launch her, and you can nearly hear the thing go bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heat off.
The hissing out of it, yeah. Like you'll even find there just the braking force as when you brake along. Every time you brake, you're heating up the drum, and they don't let go as much as you think they do.
Totally not.
You know, the fierce heat generated in them. Yeah, that's a very good point, actually, not to back in straight away.
Well, lads, I'm going to go. It's getting late.
No worries. Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Really appreciate you coming on with us.
It's for any time, just get me back on. Just
Yeah, absolutely.
make sure that their life jackets are checked every year. Wash your trailer. Get Brendan to service your engine.
Yeah. And call Mark for
I'll be bringing mine soon to you now. You're going to be laughing at the hours that it has.
Well, that's brilliant. I'm delighted to hear if the hours are up. I'd be delighted.
Not though.
We'll
pay for it somehow. All right. We'll talk to you later, lads.
Very good. Take it easy, Mark.
Down. Take it easy.
Good night, all.
Hello.
So thanks very much everyone, and make sure and give Mark a follow there. Very interesting guy. And talk to you all soon. We'll have another live very soon.